If you are a young woman in Nigeria and you do not want to buy when you get pregnant or when you want to deliver your baby, listen to this video. There are certain steps you must take. I'm speaking with almost 2 decades of experience as a doctor. And I grew up in a house where my mom is a registered nurse and my dad was a pharmacist. So I have been in medical field almost all my life. So please listen to me attentively. 1, before you get married, find out the way your husband-to-be thinks about hospitals, about antenatal care, about cesarean delivery, about blood transfusion. Know his mind about his health-seeking behavior. Understand it. If he's the kind of person that believes that you should be drinking prayer water during antenatal, my dear, break up that engagement. Now me talk him, no marry him. If he's the kind of person that believes that nobody in his family will ever do CS, please break up that engagement. You may not need it, but if you need it, that man will stand in the way and ensure that nothing is done until either your baby or you are on the way to heaven. Then check his family. If your mother-in-law is not educated health-wise and she's the stubborn person that believes that you must be drinking herbal concoction in pregnancy, and the person that still believes that they can be using cow dung, where if you after you have delivered, you putting it on your either your CS wound or your, but oh my dear, break up that engagement or don't marry that person. Because when you get into their family, they will show you Shege Pro Max. And there are some people that did not live to tell the story. You understand? Then, after, when you get married, my dear, I don't want to know how rich your husband is. Make sure you have your own money. Make sure you have your own money, and educate yourself about health so that you can know the difference between a quack nurse, an auxiliary so-called nurse, and a registered nurse. The difference between a quack doctor, a chemist, a medical doctor, and a gynecologist obstetrician. You need to know the differences. Next thing, when you get married, please know the nearest well-equipped and well-staffed hospital closest to your house and register in that place for your antenatal. Stop looking for cheap hospitals up and down. You are looking for where they will be doing antenatal care for 500 naira, abi? Look for the best hospital around you where they will take care of you and take care of your baby. And make sure you register there. You get why. So that it's not when they now have an emergency that they will now rush you from that your quack establishment and they will now rush you to the specialist when things are almost, Next thing, after you have your own money, when you get pregnant, please, before your baby is 6 months old, you should have enough money in your account to pay for CS. I'm not even talking about your husband now. Because men can be very funny. I have seen so many people that I am ashamed to call them men. As a woman, ensure that you have enough money to pay for for CS if you need it, and to pay for blood transfusion if you need it to save your life. Ensure. Okay? The hospital you will register in, ask them a simple question. That can they treat eclampsia or pre-eclampsia? Let me say, can they treat pre-eclampsia or eclampsia? If you say that thing and the person you call the doctor is saying pre-eclampsia, he doesn't know what you are saying, my dear, run. Yes, last but not the least, know the law that if you're a woman above 18, you can sign for consent for your own surgery. So if your husband is saying, hey, don't do it. If you value the life of your baby, shouldn't you the carrying woman, the baby for belly for 9 months? If you value the life of the baby and your own life, if your doctor is saying, madam, I think we need to do a CS, and your husband is crashing his head, thinking of the financial, please sign consent. So many hospitals now do not wait for your money. In my center, we don't wait for your money. If it's an emergency, we don't need your money. In fact, we don't even need all those your things you bring to the hospital. We have them. After the surgery, you can replace them. You can pay us later when you are alive. There are some people that are alive today that they are still owing us, and their children are already in primary school. Yes, in fact, some of them, their children are already in secondary school, and they are still owing us. God is taking care of us. I'm not saying you should not pay your doctor, but you understand what I'm saying, Abi? No, it's your right under the law. Even if your mother-in-law is saying no. If that's what you want, please, before you get too tired that you cannot walk to the hospital where they can take care of you, sign consent, beg the doctor that after surgery you will pay him. You don't even need to beg some of us. So you get, when you and your baby are fine, you will survive. Then you will settle them later. Do you understand? That's enough for today.